They say that PRS guitars have no soul. They say that they're too fancy and expensive. They say that these guitars are made for dentists and lawyers. And they say that PRS guitars are too perfect. But I got one for myself to see what it's all about. Let's dive in. I hope you enjoyed that. So, why get a 4,000 euro guitar in a day and age where there are so many wonderful, affordable guitars? There are so many great affordable options nowadays, so why spend all that money on a Paul Reed Smith core guitar? Now, like I said in the intro, I just wanted to experience this for myself, so I bought one. So this video is not sponsored. However, I got more out of this than I was initially expecting. Be sure to watch till the end of the video to learn more. If at any point in this video you're interested in getting a PRS guitar yourself or something else, please consider using my affiliate links for Thomann and Sweetwater. All right, so for the demo track, I used this wonderful PRS core guitar that I bought into my using Kettner Triamp Mark III, into my Grossmann Fatbox 1x12, in which I've loaded up my trusty Celestion Vintage 30, mic'd up with 3 mics and sent into the DAW. For the clean tracks, I did add a little bit of reverb in post. And for the rest of this video, I'm using the same rig. The guitar is plugged directly into the amplifier. Now, funny story how I was inspired to get this guitar. So lately, I think in the last month or so, I've been listening to a lot of Rush. My friend Dan, the Lonely Rocker, has turned me on to them, and I'm becoming a huge fan. And there was a period in their career where Lifeson, Alex Lifeson, the guitar player, played PRS guitars, and it made me really want to check one out again. I used to own one years ago. I mean, I owned some SEs and stuff, but I owned one USA model, but that was used, had some modifications and stuff, so I don't think that that was like the true experience. So I wanted to buy a new one and see what would happen, basically. And did I just waste my money? I guess we'll find out. So I started looking on the Thomann website to see which one I would want. And there were a couple of things that I would want out of a PRS guitar. First of all, I wanted a hardtail or stop tail. I didn't want a tremolo. I also wanted one with 22 frets as opposed to having 24 frets. And I really liked the idea of having a single cut as well. And I also wanted a model that was just great for a wide variety of styles. So not just heavy rock and metal, which is what I do very often on the channel, but also with wonderful clean and crunch tones. And I ended up landing on this PRS Mccarty SC56. What a beautiful guitar, eh? This beautiful single cut. Now, this is one of their newer models. I think this replaced the old Mccarty 594, and it just really spoke to me. This one has the AB, or Aurora Borealis finish. It's kind of purple, but only in certain light conditions. I hope you can see it. It's kind of like gray, purplish, with this beautiful flame maple top on it. I really love how this guitar looks. Of course, the back is natural. And yeah, it's just a really wonderful single cut guitar. Kind of like your Les Paul by PRS, right? So let's very quickly go over the specs of this guitar. We have a mahogany body with a mahogany neck, a one-piece neck, and of course, a flamed maple top. Now, in terms of the wood, what they did for this model is they added some chambering to make the guitar a little bit more light, but they claim that they added some sort of studs in the chambering areas to make the guitar sound and feel less like a chambered or hollow guitar. Now, I can tell you, the acoustic resonance of this guitar is absolutely insane. When I took this guitar out of the case for the first time and played a couple of chords, I was in love immediately because of how lively and resonant it sounds. It's really a joy to play in terms of the resonance. It's really lovely. Did I just say lovely? Yes, I said lovely. And if you know me, you know that I find acoustic resonance and sustain and everything very important, even on an electric guitar, okay? Sue me. Now, as I said, I think that the top is beautiful with some really cool figuring. It's not a 10 top, but it looks very, very cool, as you can see. It's a beautiful guitar, man. Now, of course, the fretboard is rosewood with the bird inlays that we all know from PRS, right? I also like the headstock. I think it has a rosewood overlay, if I'm correct. I might be wrong. And the neck shape is a pattern vintage neck. So it's not super slim or super fast or anything, but it is very comfortable. So it's chunky, yet very comfortable. Not all chunky necks are comfortable like this, I can tell you that. It took me a minute to get used to it, but it feels super comfortable in the hand, okay? And the way that the edges of the fretboard and the frets are rolled off, man, feels so silky smooth. They really did a tremendous job with the fretwork on this guitar with 22 nickel frets, but PRS claims that they used the hardest material that was available to them so that the frets would last a very long time. For some reason, they don't like using stainless steel frets. So the guitar looks amazing. The guitar sounds amazing acoustically. The guitar plays amazingly well as well. So those are a couple of things checked off the list that are very important to me, right? Now we have a scale length of 24.594 inches, which apparently was the scale length of a bunch of Holy Grail Les Pauls from back in the day. So that's the scale length that they use for, I think, all the Mccarty models. No complaints there. Then we've got open gear non-locking tuners. They look kind of cool, and they have plastic knobs. And the reason why they apparently have plastic knobs is because metal knobs take away some of the resonance of the guitar, and they went with plastic because it doesn't have an impact on the resonance of the guitar and the strings, the vibration of the strings. So that's kind of interesting, and it shows you how much attention to detail, you know, they put into their guitars. They literally research every little piece and detail of a guitar. That's one of the things that makes PRS guitars so special. At least that's what I've discovered anyway. For the bridge, we have a two-piece bridge over here with a stop tail. Really wonderful stuff. We have 4 controls, 2 tone controls, 2 volume controls, a 3-way selector switch, just as with any other Les Paul style guitar. And the guitar also comes with a really nice hardshell case with a very cool latching system, which was a nice surprise. Now for the pickups, we have these Mccarty III pickups, which apparently are new pickups, and they spent months and months, if not years, into researching these to make them sound perfect. And they do sound absolutely wonderful, as you hopefully heard in the intro track. So very balanced, very dynamic, plenty of bite but not harsh, plenty of fullness but not too muddy sounding. Really wonderful. So let's do some quick tones, right? Let's start with some clean tones and then go to a dirtier tone. I'm going to start on the neck pickup for a nice and warm tone. We're on channel 1 of the Triamp. Man, I love how chimey and open that sounds for a neck pickup. Yeah, a lot of times with humbuckers, the neck pickup sounds a bit too thick. It's really open sounding, really wonderful. Let's do the middle position. Yeah, that sounds great. I used that for the intro of the demo track. Bridge pickup. Really nice, right? Now let's switch to a dirtier tone. For the intro track, I used channel 2B for most of the dirty tones, at least in the middle of the song. It sounds something like this. We're on the bridge pickup now. That sounds so good. So plenty of bite and definition there, but not muddy or anything on the low end. So pretty tight. I love it. So let's tweak the tone just a little bit, remove some mids there, add some bass in there, and try some more tones. So again, this is the bridge pickup. Cool. Let's go to the middle position. Yeah, that sounds nice. Neck pickup. Really thick and rich, right? That was the bridge position again. Now the middle position. And finally the neck position. Really nice and creamy. I love it. Now you're probably wondering how this guitar sounds with some heavy chugging, since that's what you guys are used to hearing from me. So let's tune it to drop C sharp and try some heavier stuff. So that's drop C sharp with the current crunchy tone. Let's go to a high gain channel and let's also enable the boost. Perhaps it's not as aggressive and metal as some of my other guitars, but it can do this style just fine. Let's try one more tone on channel 3B, which is a bit more of a rectifier channel. Yeah, that works pretty well. So you can do the nu metal PRS 2000s thing on this guitar if you want to, right? So, was it worth it? Was this guitar worth 4,000 euros? Yes, absolutely. I'm so happy with this guitar, and let me tell you why. First of all, as I touched on earlier in the video, the sound, and I mean the acoustic resonance of the guitar, which is very important to me, as well as the pickups, is just phenomenal. You know, I have a lot of guitars that sound great and resonate really well, but this thing has something special going on. It might have to do with the woods that they used or how they dried the woods, etc., the construction, but it does sound really good, both acoustically and plugged in. Also, the feel of the guitar is amazing. I mean, I have the action very low, and it sounds and plays so well. Like I said, the ends of the fretboard are rolled off so nicely. It feels incredibly comfortable. There are no sharp ends or anything like that. It's just a joy to play on this guitar, really. I also think it looks really nice. This one has a very cool finish. I really love the uniqueness of this look. And also the attention to detail that PRS puts in their guitars. Like all the materials, every single piece of the guitar is well thought of, you know, and they did a lot of research in every single aspect of the guitar in the past 40 years. Okay, and you can really tell, you know, just by how perfect these guitars seem when you're holding them and playing them and hearing them. It also just made me super inspired. I mean, that demo track in the intro, I wrote that this morning, recorded it this morning. I'm just super happy with it, and it really made me happy on the inside. It made me smile, and it made me so happy that this guitar inspired me to write something like that. I do a lot of metal stuff and a lot of chuggy stuff, which also is great. But this guitar really inspired something very musical, together with the fact that I've been listening to a lot of Rush, which also has been a huge inspiration for me. So it brought me a lot of inspiration and joy. It almost maybe made me a better musician in that regard, because if you're happy and feel super inspired, you'll write some better music as well because of that. So, you know, in this day and age of great affordable guitars and great cheap guitars, you know, that's all wonderful. But it's also okay to spend a bit more to give yourself the premium experience, and you'll definitely notice the difference. Even though, as I said, like affordable guitars are really great these days, there is something special about the PRS core experience, in my opinion. In fact, I think it's so special that I might have gotten another one that's a little bit better suited for heavier styles. So stay tuned for that video, hopefully soon on the channel. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to know. Also, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as that really helps the channel out. I'd really appreciate it. Follow Sonic Drive Studio on Instagram and Facebook. Check out sonicdrivestudio.com for digital products. And again, get something at my affiliate links for Thomann and Sweetwater to support the channel. I'd really appreciate that. All right, thanks, guys. See you soon. Cheers.